Morning, folks. Hi, I'm Melba. And I guess I should have explained on my first video yesterday, day one, today's day two, that Melba is a nickname. And my other channel is related to that name. So that's why I did this channel as Melba's Gone Rogue. And the rogue component is, as a new YouTube creator, and I should say my husband and I also have a YouTube channel. That's a travel related channel. But anyway, as a new YouTube creator, you're trying to create videos that are going to be interesting for people to view, and but as new, you got to start. Obviously, you're starting from the bottom, but as I've been seeing all the different videos about how to do this and do that, and you shouldn't do this, and it just really started to feel like everything is kind of boxing you into being this cookie cutter kind of style of YouTube channel, and I'm just not feeling that's the right thing for me. And so that's what this channel is about with Melba's Gone Rogue, meaning I'm not planning on following the rules, both on this channel, which is really commentary discussion, and my other channel. And that's what I'm going to talk about. So just thoughts. So if you agree with me or you're interested, I hope you'll watch the channel. But I also wanted to acknowledge today too is September 11th, 2025. As I say, day two of my channel, but obviously September 11th being the anniversary, and it's been 24 years, which just seems, it just seems so long. 24 years since that accident with the bombing of the planes flying into the World Trade Center. So it's nice to see the remembrances. I like to watch some of those in the morning before I came on this morning. My local news was showing a special ceremony that was being done at our airport with the veterans there, fire department and whatnot. So that's nice to see. And then I know they'll be doing stuff this morning too on Good Morning America, which is the channel I watch in the morning. So I always look forward to seeing those. And, it was nice, I think it's been about a week ago or so, Good Morning America, I think it was, had a profile of a young lady who had gotten married, and her father had been killed in the World Trade Center. He was a fireman who had responded. Anyway, so she was getting married, and so it looked as though the fire department that her father worked for, the firemen showed up there as she was leaving, maybe to go to the church, and escorted her there, and just being in support of her. And I've seen various things like that over the years, but that was very moving, and that continues to be a remembrance and a contribution that those firefighters are contributing to that young lady. So it was nice to see. So, and I think all of us kind of think back on, what we were doing or how we heard about that incident. And certainly I have my stories as well. And really it's the remembrance of those that were killed, those that responded and that were killed. Just obviously a very bad moment in our history, and something that all of us will continue to remember, I'm sure, year after year. So, and that's important. So back to the content on the channel. So as I said, I'm a new YouTube creator. My personal channel I've had up for a month. My husband and we have had our channel up for just over a year. I think it's like 14 months, 15 months, something like that. So if you're a YouTube creator, what I started doing, I always do this in the morning, is kind of check my stats, see how things are going. So I guess we'll do that first thing this morning as well. And since I film on my phone, I'm using my laptop to kind of check things out. So yesterday, like I say, was day one for Melba's Gone Rogue. So I've just got the one video that I've done, and I'll take a look and let's see how things look. But yeah, I just, I'm feeling trying, following the advice and all, and it's like, I just feel really stifled in my creative component by, having to be so specialized. And may all that may work, but I'm going to get into that. I have a few thoughts on that, but let's see how the video did from yesterday. Okay, so Melba's gone rogue. First video, day 1, morning coffee chat. So, oops, I went to the wrong page. So, 5 views and 0.8 hours of watch time. And I probably don't have, it's too early to have any retention data or anything, it looks like. And so it looks like it had 2 impressions and 4 views from the impressions. Okay, and do I have any other info? Nope, it doesn't look like I have. Oh, wait a minute here. Watch time 0.8 hours, average view duration 9 minutes and 17 seconds, and it's a 32-minute video. So that's what I've got for my first video. So I also like to look at my my personal channel. So I'm going to do that as well. And like I say, I figure most people who are content creators kind of check out their stuff. Some people say they don't check it at all, but I'm curious to see what's up, how'd it go. And I really, from my other 2 channels, I've really noticed that, it at least takes 24 hours to see anything, and then it just kind of grows from there. But so I have come not to expect a lot from full-length videos when they first come out. Now shorts, that's a different situation, and I mentioned yesterday, I'm not a shorts person. I don't like shorts. I started doing the shorts, and I don't have a lot of them because some of the advice that was out there was creating the shorts as a way to increase your reach in the hopes that people will become aware of your channel, but that they would then go and watch your full-length videos. So I've not seen that happen. So I'd be curious to hear how that's worked for you, if you've been doing that. So so my other video on my other channel, my last full-length video was on September 5th, and it's gotten 7 views. And the one prior to that was on August 29th, and that one got 17. My second video, I've got, looks like 5. And my first video that I did on August 6th has been 10. So, and I liked all those. I mean, I put a lot of time and effort into my videos. Again, they're kind of a little over here, a little over there, but that's kind of what I want to do. And I kind of like other channels that do that as well. Like I say, I think there's so much of the same thing going on. So that's where I'm at. But I have a lot of that advice trends things in my feed because that's what I've been looking at. So that's what's in there. But again, they all look so very similar. They're all saying the same thing, and part of me has to say, and obviously being cynical here, but I wonder if we're all being played. So it's like one watches the other and they say the same thing that that one says and whatnot. And, there's who knows how many videos are up there from content creators who are, you've got to start a YouTube channel today. I mean, there are so many, and like I say, everybody just kind of copies off the other one. And you don't really see a lot of unique content. And that's really what I like. The people and channels that I follow are fairly unique. I don't feel like they're just copying somebody else or saying the same thing as somebody else. And that's what I enjoy. And that's really where I was coming from with my channel, especially my personal channel, and really sharing what I want to share in the way that I want to share it. And people may not like it. The algorithm may not pick it up, but again, I try to be thoughtful with that. So, but I also do not want to just create another video that just duplicates somebody else's video. And I see that with some of these content creators who are giving advice on, how to do different things. Now, granted, their channels have, thousands of views and they've got thousands of subscribers. And again, part of me wonders if we're all just getting sucked into that. And that's why they have so many views. They all keep saying the same thing and we all just keep watching them, and therefore their numbers are going up and whatnot, and I'm not, again, I don't mean to be disparaging of the other channels, nothing like that, but it just seems like everybody's looking for the video that did really well before, and they're just kind of duplicating that with their own, kind of spin on it and whatnot. And again, I just part of me feels like it's just part of this system that we're all kind of falling into. And granted, some of them I think are, good advice. I'm not saying it's bad advice. But for me, I just don't think that's where I want to go. And, down the road, it may prove that I made a big mistake in not being cookie cutter, but I'm not cookie cutter myself. Although I'm a pretty normal person, and that's why my title, Melba's Gone Rogue, is kind of ironic because I'm a rule follower. That's what I do. But I do it within my own context, and my next video on my other channel is going to talk about that in terms of being a business owner and just kind of how I've approached being a business owner, so which is my approach. So anyway, so those are my thoughts on that. And I'm going to try today on my YouTube, looking at different content, to kind of change my focus on and see if I can get my feed to look a little more unique. So we'll see how that goes from that standpoint. But again, if you're a YouTube creator, new to it, and you kind of feeling maybe some of the things that I'm feeling, I appreciate you joining me. It's morning coffee, which, speaking of, I should have my coffee. And just kind of a chat. I try to, mention too a little bit about me and what I'm doing today. Normally what you do when you're having coffee in the morning. And for those of you that are, home alone, or you're up early and the rest of your household isn't, maybe this channel will be of interest to you, and just some chatting in the morning. So I mentioned the September 11th, and certainly the other big news thing yesterday was the shooting of the Charlie Chris, I think was his last name. I wasn't familiar with him. Looks like a young man in his 30s, I think they said, shot and killed at that presentation or rally he was doing in Utah, which is just, it's just awful. Regardless of what your political views are, nobody should be killed for that. It just, yeah. They haven't caught the person, so I guess, I don't know whether we'll get any insight. Not that that matters, but it's just, you wonder what motivates these people. And certainly a lot, have mental health issues and whatnot. But, some don't. And it's just, out of, I disagree with you, which is just so unfortunate. And I know so many of us wish that we could get back to a civil discord and agreeing to disagree and respecting other people's views. I mentioned yesterday, I'm really not a political person. I have my views. I think other people have their views, obviously, and I don't think there's a lot of effective ways in which to change somebody else's opinion. Uh, it's challenging. So I think we all have our different opinions for different reasons, and we should respect other people's opinion. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but again, something that just really a tragic situation yesterday. So I said yesterday I was going to hopefully have some time to work with my husband on editing our next travel video. We didn't get to do that. I was at one of my clients' office yesterday most of the day. Kind of got a late start, so I got there a little later than usual. I was thinking I'd probably be out today, but I'm actually going to be doing some remote work for them today. So that's what I'll be working on, and then I will probably be doing the filming for my personal channel, and that is AKA, I haven't mentioned that, AKA Sweet Melba. So I'll be doing some filming for my video for that. I'm hoping to get that up this weekend, and then, like I say, hoping to spend some time with my husband doing some editing on our next travel video, and hopefully maybe get that out this weekend too. So I really enjoy doing the YouTube creation. I think it's a way to share your thoughts, to just be creative, let that creative energy, juices, whatever you want to call it, out. And hopefully there's people out there that might find your content interesting. And that's kind of what I hope. I think, I have some information to share. I think it's always great to share information. I don't care what kind of information it is. So I think there's benefit in that, and the algorithm may not see that a lot of people like that, so I may not get a lot of awareness, but it's good for me. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing the creative editing and content, coming up with those ideas and whatnot, and things I want to be able to share with others that might find it along the way. So I enjoy that process. And too, on my husband and I's channel, which is travel and just being out doing different things in the community or whatnot, we enjoy sharing that, and we also know that there are individuals who can't go and do certain activities, and maybe they want to see a particular place so they can see that, or people are thinking about going to a particular place. So we enjoy doing those, and hope they're of benefit for those folks as well. And I have to say, YouTube puts out content as well in terms of education, and I think I'm going to try and look at some of that a little bit more, rather than the videos per se, is to look at some of their materials they put out. I may find that we're all being given information that we all kind of, again, everybody's trying to follow this trend or whatever, but trends change, right? So I think you're back to the whole do what you want to do, how you want to do it. And, you pick up some tips here and there, and maybe you try some of those and see how they do. But I think you have to be true to yourself and how you want to do your channel and what you want to put out there. So, if you're like me and feel like, I kind of want to do it this way and see how it goes, and then I think you do it. That's one of the nice things about YouTube, in the sense that you can create what you want to create. I mean, I think that's wonderful. I think that's what's really great about YouTube. And hopefully, there's some folks out there that resonate with what you're doing in education. And too, sometimes some stuff will pop up that, it's like, oh, I didn't even think about, looking that up, but searching for that particular topic. And one in particular the other day, which was actually a short, I was kind of surprised. I guess I was looking at my shorts and kind of that content to see what was out there, comparable kind of a thing. And I guess that's why this particular short popped up, but it was one about the benefits or something of being bored. And that was really interesting. I'm a very reflective type person, so I tend to sit and think a lot anyway, but it was a really interesting video. And as I recall, he was a professor from Harvard, and I don't recall his name, but it was an interesting short little presentation on the benefits of being bored. So if you're interested, you can take a look at that. But you know, sometimes stuff pops in that you don't necessarily think about, and you find it interesting. So maybe one of mine's going to be that way too. So I think I kind of went over what my plans are for the day and hit on the topics of the news today and kind of what I'm thinking. Like I say, I'm going to try and start looking for things to kind of change the way my feed looks, because right now it's just an overload because of the stuff I've been looking at, which is, you know, tips and stuff as I've been thinking about this. And it's like, you know, what are people actually putting out there? So I guess you'd call it research, which is what I do as a career anyway. But that it's the research of what content's out there, how are people delivering it and whatnot. And so again, I'm going to change up my searching and see if I can get some different content and get a little more insight into different areas, and maybe hopefully find some more channels that are a style similar to what I like. So that's and less of these, you know, this one looks just like this and this one looks just like that. So anyways, well, I guess that'll do it for this morning. Thanks for tuning in. And again, I hope if you enjoyed the content, if you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments, as I did yesterday. I invite you to say hello in the comments, introduce yourself, where you're from, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, have a good day. Bye. I'm Melba. Bye.